is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with another what to expect. Today we're going to talk about the Atlanta Hawks, a team that's going to be very exciting. They have a lot of talent, and they have Trae Young, a guy that they really feel strong about, a guy that they felt can make a big difference on this team. And they also get a guy that can help make John Collins' job a lot easier. And as a tandem, they're a special team. And I think that they showed once they got John Collins how powerful and how good of a team they can be, especially in the Eastern Conference. And I think that they got something special brewing up in Atlanta. They solved some of their problems. They started making the right picks potentially for what they need. But at the same time, we're going to see what they do, and you're going to hear what I think about this Atlanta Hawks team. But let's start off with Trae Young. Trae Young was excellent as a rookie. He had some good, some ups, downs, bad and ugly. I said in my breakdown of Trae Young in Summer League and when he got drafted that was going to happen. You're going to see a lot of turnovers. You're going to see a lot of bad shots. You're going to see a low field goal percentage. You're going to see a low three-point percentage, but you're also going to have stretches when he looks fantastic. He's going to have stretches where he looks amazing. And that actually is what happened. He got off to a rocky start. He was able to start slowing the game down and start figuring some stuff out. And as he started doing that, he got more comfortable. And then the addition of John Collins coming back, they looked at a lot better, a whole lot better. And I thought that was going to happen, and it ended up happening. Um, and John Collins just looks so special. I know he's a little undersized. I know that him and Trae is not known for their defense, but John Collins' ability to finish, the guy continues to work on his game. He continues to add more and more and more to his game, and that's special, especially having a young player with that type of work ethic. But you also see it in the numbers. You also see it as a potential thing that he can be an all-star, especially if the Atlanta Hawks get off to a good start and they make a playoff run. You're going to have to give consideration to John Collins and Trae Young for turning this franchise around. But not only that, the way they're doing it. Only problem is this team is one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. John Collins sometimes look clueless out there in the paint. Not the greatest help defender, not a great rim protector either. So it's kind of hard to see them winning a lot of games unless they're outscoring their opponent. But other than that, they have two players that mesh, two players that fit well, and I don't think they should do too much changing on that. But what I do think is this team has potential to be one of the best teams in the East in the future, especially when they picked up Cam Reddish, a guy that didn't really get the touches and the play that he wanted in college. But even if he did and showed the same results, he still has huge and enormous potential as a defender, as an offensive player, especially for this Atlanta Hawks team that likes to get up and down, get out in transition. This is a team that likes to shoot a lot of threes. This is a team that has Trae Young always probing, looking for the open guy, always making his teammates get good quality shots and easy opportunities. And I think that's going to help build confidence with a guy like Cam Reddish that can be a little streaky, getting good looks and getting fun. Getting good looks and being in a fun game can really do a lot for a young player, especially one that's as raw as Cam Reddish. But his work ethic is going to have to match the work ethic of Trae Young and John Collins if he really wants to be something special. But all I'm saying is he should have an easy job in Atlanta than he did in college because it's going to be a whole different look, but they also going to have a funner, up-tempo game. Also, DeAndre I think he's a guy that a lot of people don't know what he's going to be. He's a guy that can be a 3 and D guy. He can be a shot creator if he continues to work on his game. And I think that as a defender, he has his flaws, but also is not too many players in that draft that's really known for defense, especially at the size and the athleticism that he has, that he can really be a big difference maker for them in the future. I know a lot of people are not as high on him. I know a lot of people question what he can be and what he can do and what he can do in the future. But we just talking about as a guy that came out as one of the most respected players in the draft, a guy that has shown that he can be a difference maker on a college team, and they're weak at that particular position, and they need somebody that has a different mentality than their other players. They need some guys that can guard the LeBrons, the Kawhis, the Kevin Durant's, of that nature and slow them down or at least make it more tough, especially as an individual defender, because this team doesn't have really no upside on perimeter defense outside of Cam Reddish and DeAndre. Um, those two guys have potential to be two-way players, and they also have the size to play some forward, especially as they continue to grow because they're not done growing until they're 21. But I definitely think that this team needed somebody that can defend and make things tough on the perimeter, and I think Hunter can be that guy that can do it. But I also like the fact that they filled this roster out with some veterans. This team has a lot of cap space because they have guys like John Collins and Trae Young, Cam Reddish, and all of them. They all on rookie contracts, so they don't really need anybody specifically because they're trying to build their nucleus in their core, and they want a lot of those guys to get a lot of minutes and a lot of opportunities to go out there, learn, and develop. And the best way to do that is giving them playing time. But I also look at this team and I see certain guys that can make a big difference on this team. Like Kevin Herter, that's a shooting guard on this team. He's only 21 years old. He has a nice touch. He's a great 3-point shooter, and he can space out the floor for Trae Young to probe. He can space out the floor for John Collins to roll to the basket and finish at the rim. But he also can be a decent shot creator, kind of like DeAndre Hunter. He has potential to be a better shot creator and a potential to be a decent playmaker if it continues to go that way. Allen Crabbe is a guy that can knock down threes and he can get hot and he can really give them something on that shooting guard position that they might not have outside of Kevin Herter. You look at DeAndre Bembry, he's a quality guard that can play multiple positions, the guard or the point sometimes, but he also has a lot of upside even though he's 25. Vince Carter can really teach these guys the way of trying to be a star, trying to get to that next level, how to be confident. And he has been a solid mentor and role player last year. I don't see why that would change. The only difference is they got more guards, and I think he can really help those guys with their ball handling, their shooting, and their confidence. You look at Alex Lynn, he's another guy that has huge upside, but he's a confident guy, but he hasn't really worked out so far. But the Atlanta Hawks is willing to give him another try, and you're not really paying him that much money. He's a quality backup center. He has a different play style than John Collins, which give you a different look. It allows you to go big against the bigger teams because some teams like Philly are going big, and the Bucks have ability to go big, and this team has that ability too. You look at Jabari Parker; he didn't really pan out in Washington, but he showed that he can still score. He's not a great defender, not the best passer, but he does understand how to put that ball in the bucket, and he does know how to create his own shot. And he can be instant offense coming off that bench. Plus, he can play some four. Plus, he can play some three, and he gives you somewhat of floor spacing, and he gives you the ability to break down some defense and give you some low post scoring if necessary, and some isolation if it get late in the shot clock. You can throw the ball to Jabari. He can get you a quality shot. Evan Turner, they overpaid for him after that trade, but I think that he can be a guy that can give you some backup one. They don't really have a lot of point guards on this roster that can be valuable and give you quality minutes right away. Evan Turner understands how to get to the paint. He understands his game, and he is also a guy that can be a little streaky, but he also gives them something that they don't really have a lot of, which is a combo guard and a guy that can play with Trae Young, a guy that can play some three, and a guy that can play some two. If injuries come, he can play multiple positions and be a solid backup player. They also got Chandler Parsons, a guy like we all thought was done. A lot of people don't even know that Chandler Parsons is on the Atlanta Hawks because he's been bouncing around so much, and a lot of teams have gave up on him. But he's a laughing stock to a lot of people. But in reality, he's still in the NBA. He's still getting them checks, and he still has the ability to do even better. And this team is gonna give him an opportunity to play to his strong suits, which is getting out in transition, getting to the basket, and being a distant playmaker that can shoot threes at the top of the key and at the 3 point from the corner three. So when I look at this team, I see a lot of potential. I see a lot of offense. I see that this team is going to be one of the most funnest teams to watch, and they're going to be a team that a lot of people going to keep an eye on. This is a team that they're trying to build something special in the franchise. Um, they want a franchise that can win a title. They have a good coach. They have two good players that they can build around, and that's their bread and butter. But they also have good wings and good guards that can do multiple things and play multiple positions, giving them a lot of dynamics and a lot of versatility. But they also lack rim protection. They also lack a lot of defenders because even their rookie defenders are still young. They still got to understand the game. They still got to play in the NBA, so they're not going to be great defenders right away. And a lot of them are raw offensively. So you might see a lot of Chandler. You might see a lot of some of the other guys getting a lot more minutes than the rookies. But even if they do start, some of these rookies, they're not going to be able to contribute to winning right away as they just now got into the NBA. They got to learn, they got to develop, and they got to work through some flaws and work through the rookie wall. And, that can take a couple years to get to the point where you understand the game and the game become a lot easier to you. I am expecting that Trae Young gets off to a better start. I do expect them to win more games just because John Collins and Trae Young should be healthier this year, and they should get an opportunity to get off to continue basically what they started from last season, and they get to do it at the start of this season, which was one of the reasons why they was one of the worst teams in the NBA last year, and they shouldn't have that problem, or at least I hope they don't have that problem this year. And as long as they got Trae Young, John Collins, and some 3 point shooters and some solid guys that's going to really go out there and compete, they should be fine and they should make it close to the playoffs. But I do not have this team making the playoffs. I do have this team as one of the must-watch teams in the NBA. But other than that, I think their defense is just going to be too bad. Their rookies are not going to be able to contribute at a high level this year. They veterans, they kind of fit, they don't fit, but they don't add defense either. They got a team that's a score first team. They can get up and down and obliterate teams that's tired. They can obliterate teams that don't respect them or come to play. But I just don't see them beating enough great teams to really have a chance to make it to a top 8 seed. But I think they'd be close. But I think that they'll barely miss it, which means they're not going to make it to the playoffs, in my personal opinion. But I think that even if they don't, they get another top 10 pick. They can either trade up in that draft because they got some assets and they got some young players on their roster. And if they do that, they can possibly build and get another piece to this team that can be another foundation to go right along with Trae Young, Hunter, and John Collins. It might be a forward. It might be a shooting guard, unless they're going to put Cam Reddish and Hunter as a shooting guard and a small forward. But other than that, they might have to find somebody that can play some power forward. And I do like Herter, and I do like a lot of the other guards, but they don't add defense and they don't add enough impact to help this team win right now. Maybe in the future, but they do have a lot of young pieces that you should be excited for, and they have a lot of potential to be a special team. They might even win mid-30s this year, but I still don't think that will be enough to make it to the playoffs in the East, which means to me, they're just going to barely miss out. So let me know what you guys think about the Atlanta Hawks this year. Do they make it? Is I'm sleeping on them? Is I'm overrating them? Are they going to be a better defensive team, or their defense going to be so bad that's going to be the reason why they don't make it? Or do you think that the Hawks will be a lot better than what we all think, and that they will make the playoffs. Whatever you think, let me know in the comment section below. I read every comment and I do respond to most that makes sense. But other than that, I'm gone. Like this video, check out my older videos on my channel. I have many playlists. I break down rookies, I break down players, I break down summer league. I do cover the draft, and I got a mock draft up already. Not only that, I do podcasts, and I also talk about the game of basketball, whether it comes to summer league, free agency, trade deadline, buyouts, and also I cover top 10 discussions and stuff like that. So you like this type of video, you like the NBA, check out my older videos and my playlists. I enjoy making these videos. You guys enjoy watching.